Alright, guys. So, the biggest comeback in Copa Libertadores history over two legs just happened. It just happened. So, it happened like all the way back on Thursday, the 30th of October. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about the biggest comeback in Libertadores history. This has been the biggest comeback I've ever seen in my life. From Liga Quito 3-0, then choking it, to a 4-0 defeat over Palmeiras. This comeback just makes it so iconic because, one, I've never seen an impressive comeback from a Libertadores since like the other way that happened like in 2002. Like, I don't really know that when was the last time that happened, 2002 or something. So I think that was a really good comeback, and we're gonna be talking about the comeback of how Palmeiras used all those strategies to come back in the Libertadores. What a comeback that was, from being 3-0 down to 4-0. But here we got like some negatives of that. Well, all I know is that it's gonna be another Brazilian final for like the seventh time. There's gonna be a seventh consecutive Brazilian champion. So yeah, we got the final between Palmeiras and Flamengo. So we're gonna be reviewing the comeback of what happened. So it all started back in the first leg where Liga Quito won 3-0 in their own home ground thanks to 2 goals from Carlos Villamil and a penalty goal scored from Carlos Algazuaray or something like that. Yeah. He scored, and yeah, so the first leg finished 3-0, and yeah, it was like impossible for like Palmeiras to come back. So yeah, that's why I think that Palmeiras did a really good job resiliently coming back. But what makes this more interesting is that Palmeiras, they had a really good team that could win the Libertadores, but in that game they were absolutely awful. They weren't like pressing very much. Like they had like only like 2 good chances where they couldn't convert, and yeah, so Palmeiras, they had like a 33% possession, while Quito had like a 64% possession, which they mean, yeah, they dominated the game. But although they got a red card, that they still played really good, and I thought they were gonna make the final, the Libertadores. But guess what? I jinxed it again. I just cannot believe it. Where in the second leg, but yeah, it just makes it more interesting because this Liga Quito team was a dark horse. It could have reached the final, but instead they decided to capitulate against a really good Palmeiras team who has the capacity to come back. Yeah, I know they came back, which is just insane. Probably the best comeback of Libertadores I have ever seen in my generation. So that might be one of the biggest comebacks I've ever seen. So yeah, hopefully that might be the biggest comeback, because yeah. So yeah, but then in the return leg in Sao Paulo, this happened. But this second leg was so entertaining to watch. So this happened. 4-0. 4-0. They came back. Palmeiras literally came back. After what was like a 3-0 goal deficit, they came back. First, it was a goal from Sosa, the Argentinian guy, and then Bruno Fuchs. Yeah, his name is Bruno Fuchs. I'm sorry I said that, but his real name is Bruno Fuchs. And then 2 goals from Rafael Veiga. Rafael Veiga, he's so clutch for Palmeiras, man. He scored 2 goals. 2 goals in like 13 minutes for Palmeiras to come back. Wow, just this thing was absolute cinema, man. Like this game was so entertaining to watch, man. Like, so in the first, when they scored the first goal, I was like, Liga Quito are in big trouble now. Because you know what? They were parking the bus, and they had like a really low possession. They had like 29%. And who was it again? Palmeiras had 71% possession. And yeah, and the Palmeiras had like, they had the majority of the shots converted. Like, they had lots of on target, but yeah, Liga Quito just parked the bus. They thought, yeah, we just won this, but then nope, they absolutely capitulated. They played like an absolute Tottenham bottle. How they bottled that. I mean, not Tottenham bottle, because they won a European trophy, and Arsenal bottle, because Arsenal, we all know that Arsenal just are trash. They only score goals from set pieces. So yeah, Liga Quito just turned into Arsenal for some reason. They started parking the bus and like not even trying at all. And that's what happens when you park the bus. You get You get punished when you park the bus. That's what happens. Where it finished 4-0. I'm very disappointed in Liga de Quito, man. Because what if we had a final between Flamengo and Liga de Quito? This weapon, an Ecuadorian team would be in the final for the first time since I don't really know, since 1999. I don't really know. No, I mean for the first time since 2016, an Ecuadorian team has not been in the final for the first time since 2016. Where Atlético Nacional, my Colombian team, beat Independiente del Valle from Ecuador 1-0. That would be the first time we've had an Ecuadorian team in the final, but sadly we're gonna have now an all Brazilian final. So yeah, so now what makes this the biggest comeback in Libertadores both-legged history? Okay, so what makes this a really, really good Copa Libertadores clash? So I think that this makes, because all the drama, the 3-0 win in Liga de Quito was very crucial for Liga de Quito because they needed a result, but then it just turns out to be absolute cinema because after that happens, Palmeiras start to attack, and 4-0. 4-0. Wow. What that might just be one of the best semifinals in Copa Libertadores history. But the game, it just makes it so special because it was a comeback. And yeah, it was needed. It was just like this brings back memories of the Barcelona versus the Liverpool game. I don't want to talk about this because I'm a Barca fan, and yeah, I get embarrassed when I always hear about the comeback and stuff. I get it. So yeah, this comeback was just so special. That I haven't seen a comeback like this in years. I haven't seen a comeback like this in years. A 2-leg comeback. I haven't seen a comeback like this in history. 3-0. It's impossible to come back. Practically impossible to come back, but then you come back with 4 goals, which is just impressive. And yeah, when I was watching the game, when it was 2-0, I was like, Liga better hold on, because if they keep barking the bus, they're gonna get in big trouble. And yeah, they got in big trouble, and I jinxed it again. So yeah, that was such a great game to watch. But yeah, now the final will not be Liga Quito versus Flamengo. It's gonna be Flamengo versus Palmeiras. And yeah, this final will be a repeated final of the 2021 Copa Libertadores final. It was played in Montevideo, Uruguay, where Palmeiras won 2-1. And yeah, you have to keep your eyes out on my prediction video. My prediction video is gonna come out soon. Trust me. So yeah. Oh, and that's it. That's it. I've discussed the whole thing of the biggest comeback in Libertadores history. Two-legged comeback. So yeah. So that's it. Yeah, that's it for today. Bye.